children. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and healthy at your homes. This is your English teacher, Ganga Barnwal. Children, today we are going to see the first lesson of class 7th, and the name of the lesson is The Chocolate Room. So without wasting time, let's start it. Children, this lesson, The Chocolate Room, is an excerpt from the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And you know, this book was written by Roald Dahl. So before we start the lesson, let's see a bit about the author. Children, Roald Dahl was born in Wales in 1915. He was famous for his books, but he was much more than a writer. He joined the Royal Air Force in 1939 and fought the Second World War as a fighter pilot. In 1940, Roald Dahl's Gladiator plane got crashed. He was hospitalized for months and lost his eyesight temporarily. Thankfully, he had full recovery. His works for children include James and the Giant Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, The Witches, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The BFG, The Twits, and George's Marvelous Medicine. His adult works include Tales of the Unexpected. Roald died in 1990. So now we are going to see the lesson. Children, the story moves around the adventures of a young boy whose name is Charlie. And these adventures take place in the biggest factory of his hometown. The owner of this factory is Willy Wonka. Charlie is a boy from an extremely poor family. He lives in a small house with his parents and grandparents. Due to his family's extreme poverty, Charlie rarely gets proper food, and his family members as well. Despite his poverty, Charlie is a good boy. He loves his family and never complains against anything. He lives happily with his parents and grandparents. Grandpa Joe narrates stories of Willy Wonka and his chocolate factory to Charlie. One day, they all come to know that Willy Wonka has announced that he has hidden golden tickets in 5 Wonka chocolate bars. With the price of a tour of his factory and a lifetime supply of sweets and chocolates, whoever finds a ticket. Charlie is in the lucky ones to win the ticket. Including Charlie, 4 other children win the tickets. These children were Augustus Gloop, Veruca Salt, Violet Beauregard, and Mike Dewey. Children, Augustus Gloop is an obese and greedy boy. Veruca Salt is a spoiled and stubborn girl. Violet Beauregard always chews gum, and Mike Dewey is a television loving boy. Children, you would be surprised to know that one by one all the children got eliminated. They are failed. And Charlie is the only boy who is left. He wins the prize, the chocolate factory. And Willy Wonka, he actually wanted to find an heir. And Charlie was the one who became the heir of Willy Wonka. Charlie is the only child to pass the contest. In the end, they go to Charlie's house in a glass lift and get the whole family to spend the rest of their lives in the factory. So, children, let's read out what happened in the chocolate factory and what it looked like. Mr. Wonka explains that the chocolate room is the nerve center of his factory. It's a beautiful room. Before entering the room, he wants the children to remain calm. Inside, the group enters and immediately encounters an amazing sight. A green valley, a brown river, which includes a waterfall. At the base of the waterfall, giant transparent pipes dangle into the river from the ceiling of the room. The pipes suck the bubbling liquid out of the river and carry it away. All around the river, various trees and flowers grow. Children, you can see the picture nicely. Everyone was too astonished. They all are too astonished to speak a single word. Mr. Wonka keeps explaining about everything. All around the river, various trees and flowers grow. He explains with great excitement that the river is made entirely of chocolate. Mr. Wonka explains that the waterfall is the most important part of his chocolate making process. He believes that churning chocolate by waterfall is the only correct way to do the job. He then explains that everything around the group is edible and composed of the finest quality chocolate, including the grass beneath their feet. When Mr. Wonka explains that all sample the grass, everybody eats the grass. Charlie and Grandpa Joe tell each other how wonderful the grass tastes, while Augustus scoops a handful and Violet puts her gum behind her ear. Then Veruca screams in reaction to seeing little people on the other side of the river. Everyone else finally sees the little people. They are confused by the little people and begin chattering among themselves. The little people look at the children across the river and then begin to laugh. Charlie does not believe that they are real people, but Mr. Wonka assures him that the Oompa Loompas are perfectly real. So, children, the name of little people is Oompa Loompa. I hope you must have understood the story. Thank you so much. Have a good day.